people speculating what someone with an 18-year age gap can really have in common.
I'm 34 years old.
Yeah.
If I said to you, I was texting a 14-year-old girl saying, I miss you so much, and she was replying to me, I miss you more, would you not think, hold on here a second, that's weird?
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Jay from the JCast Podcast coming at you with another video. A very, I guess you can say a sensitive topic, a video of a sensitive topic, but it's been making the rounds. The Drake and Kendrick beef seems to finally be dying down. The rap battles are always funny to me because it's essentially, poetry back and forth. But that's not really what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is what was said by Kendrick Lamar. I think in his last freestyle or his last song, where he was alleged that Drake had proclivities, where he said, not me, not the JCast podcast, where Kendrick Lamar said that Drake seems to be displaying proclivities to certain types of women. And I want to talk about that a little bit because the more we did do a deep dive on this, the more it did seem a bit strange, to the point where you say to yourself, well, if my daughter, who wasn't 18, started a friendship with a guy who was like 29 or 30, I would find that extremely troubling and concerning, and I wouldn't want my daughter to be around guys like that. So that's the first thing. And this is all based off what Kendrick Lamar said and some of the articles that we found while doing some research on this. The first person we want to talk about in this is the allegation that Drake had a friendship with Millie Bobby Brown.
Your relationship with Drake. Tell me about your friendship. How did this all come about?
I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just texted each other the other day, and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more. He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely going to go and see him. I'm so excited, yeah.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys. He helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
According to people.com, not JCast Podcast, according to people.com, when they first started talking, it seems that she was 14 at the time. This is according to people.com, allegedly, blah, blah, blah. Now, here's the thing about that. Obviously, my first thing that I want to say is talking how? Hi, hello? Talking how? Did she message you? Did she message you saying she liked your song and you said, okay, thank you, have a nice day? Is that considered talking? Right? Because that's obviously, you don't want to jump to conclusions. But then when she was being interviewed in one of these events, she was talking about how they were texting and that he gives her advice on guys and all these other weird things. And as a grown man, why would you want to talk to a girl who's like 16 or 17 via messages that you're not related to, that you've never worked with on set? Because, you can understand like, oh, I worked with this person on set and, we've been working together for like 5 years or whatever. It's like a little brother to me or a little sister to me. You can kind of see that. But in this case where they didn't have seemingly a relationship prior to this, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to have a conversation with somebody, even as a guy, bro? Like, if you're minding your business and you're next to a kid, that already looks suspect. Even if you're not even talking to the kid, why would you put yourself in that type of position? You know what I mean? So that's the first one. The other one that I want to talk about is according to what I saw, is Little Cece.
Okay, so the Drake thing. Mm-hmm. You met him. Well, when did you first meet him?
So I played basketball, right? So he really was a fan of supported one of my teammates at the time. And
this is when you're in high school?
Yeah, in high school. So he was a fan of women's basketball, high school basketball.
At the time, Drake would have been 29.
Where she said that she met him while she was playing high school basketball, where allegedly she said this, not the JCast podcast, she said this, Drake is a fan of high school basketball. A female high school basketball. She said this.
So he followed me because of her. And I was like, oh shit, bitch, you got Drake to follow me? Like, what the hell? Like, that's so crazy.
Oh my God.
He followed me and I lost it. I'm like, I have to meet Drake. Like, I love Drake. I've always loved Drake, still love Drake. So basically, yeah, he followed me. Maybe a year later is when I built up the confidence to like message him on like some working stuff because I was 18 when I messaged him. And I DM'd him like.
And so the thing about that is, even if you're a fan of high school football as a grown man, that's already weird in of itself, where you want to watch high schoolers play football. So, but to be a man with no daughter, no cousin, no family member, and be a fan of an underage sporting activity in a high school, that's a bit strange. That's a bit like, if I did something like that, people would raise eyebrows. You'd be like, "Hey Jay, what are you doing here? You have cousins?" "No, I just want to watch the girls play basketball." Okay, well, you know what I mean. And then according to Little CC, he started following her on IG. If somebody was following you on real life, if somebody was following your daughter in real life, you'd be concerned. I don't know why we let people get away with that in social media. You know what I mean? It's really strange, man. It's really, really strange that these allegations are coming out. And then the last one I want to talk about is Hailey Bieber.
In May of 2016, 29-year-old Drake was spotted eating dinner with 18-year-old Hailey Bieber in West Hollywood. Due to their allegedly flirty interaction and Drake wearing a matching H necklace, rumors of them dating began circulating, with Entertainment Tonight even alleging that the two hooked up at Drake's Memorial Day party. However, during this time, Hailey did an interview with E! News, revealing that she'd known Drake for around 4 years at this point, meaning that a 25-year-old Drake first met Hailey when she was just 14.
Where they were spotted at going to dinner when she was 18 years old, which, if you're 30, you're dating an 18-year-old, legally, it's okay, apparently, but that still looks strange. And before anybody says, well, it's society, like, if you had a daughter who just turned 18 and then out of nowhere started dating a 29 or 30-year-old, you'd be like, well, how long has he been talking to her? Was he talking to her? And according to E! News, they've known each other for about 4 years at that point. So when she was 15? Whatever the case is. All these things that Kendrick Lamar was alluding to in his songs are really when you look into it, they are really concerning. And it's like, bro, why are you talking to underage people? Why are you talking to underage girls? If you're famous, just in general, as even as a grown man, you don't even gotta be famous. Especially if you're famous. But if I got caught talking to underage people would look at me suspect. Even if it was just, hey, how are you? How was the game? Like, why do I care? Why do you care? Why are you trying to talk to these people? You know what I mean? So, like I said, man, those things are weird. Those things are extremely weird. That is some eyebrow-raising behavior. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm not alluding to anything. I'm just kind of just letting you guys know what Kendrick said, and then what we found while we were doing a little bit of research. And then I think the last one is Charlotte D'Alicio.
Titled, "What Would You Do If Your Teenager Became an Overnight Instagram Sensation?" was released by The Guardian, detailing a story about 16-year-old Charlie D'Alessio going viral on Instagram after tagged in pictures at Coachella. The article describes the photos as Charlotte wearing bodysuits, bikini tops, and jean shorts. Her mother, Christina Ford, recounts the moment she realized how popular the photos were making her daughter, saying, "They were in the back of the car chatting away and checking in on social to say they were in Toronto, just like normal teenagers. And then suddenly Madison was like, oh god, it's Drake FaceTiming us. Should I answer?" As Ford drove on, listening to her daughter and her friend chatting away in the back seat with one of the biggest hip-hop stars on the planet, she felt the world as she knew it shifting under the wheels of her car. "I thought, okay, she's hanging out with Drake. I guess this is for..."
She was 16, and I guess allegedly Drake FaceTimed her and they were talking. And it was okay because it was Drake, apparently. But had it been another guy, would that have been okay? And FaceTiming about what? A possible record deal? A possible movie deal? Was it business related? You know, all these things, man. All these things are extremely suspicious. In terms, or at the very minimum, extremely eyebrow raising. To the point where you're like, all right, if this wasn't Drake, if this was another man from the neighborhood, that has no relationship to your daughter, and they start talking to her like, hey, how are you? How was your day? Oh, that's interesting. Tell me more. Wouldn't you be like, hey, don't talk to my daughter? Or wouldn't you tell your daughter, hey, don't talk to this guy? He's not related to you. He has nothing to talk to you about. He's not your teacher. He's not your coach. He's not community outreach. None of that stuff. Right? So if we're not okay with that, which we shouldn't be, then I'm not sure how, we would somewhat be okay with this. It's extremely eyebrow raising. And then one of the lyrics that Drake said, trying to defend his name, is, had he been involved with people of a certain age group, he would have been arrested. In Hollywood, we know that's not true. In the music industry, we know that's not true. In the music industry, there's a lot of allegations, and a lot of people have been accused of stuff. And very few people have been arrested. It took them like 15 years to arrest R. Kelly. Or 20 years maybe, when you think about it, right? When did the tape come out of him doing what he did, supposedly? Like 15, 20 years ago? You know what I mean? It's not I've been arrested. It's, if you're being accused of that, you got to come out and say, no, that's not true. But then the thing is, if you come out and say that's not true, and all these little CC, Millie Bobby Brown, Hailey Bieber, Charlotte D'Alicio, all supposedly claim that they were talking to you, and you were giving them, like in the case of Millie Bobby Brown, that you were giving them advice, a grown man giving advice to a woman who's not a family member, giving advice about boys and stuff, like, dude, that is strange. That is very strange. And if Drake was talking to guys, underage boys, right, giving them advice about life, you could be like, that's weird that this guy keeps reaching out to the youth. But somebody could at least spin that in a PR way that says, well, he's trying to reach out to the youth. He's doing community outreach, etc., etc. But this stuff is weird. So those allegations that Kendrick Lamar made, I don't know if he's gonna get a cease and desist about it. But at the end of the day, bro, this is going to female high school basketball games when you don't have family members, supposedly, allegedly, following high school girl age people on Instagram and Twitter or whatever you follow them through. I don't know, And then she's saying when she turned 18, she messaged him. Little Cece's case, she turned 18 and she messaged him talking about like a record deal and stuff. This is strange behavior. And then the last one, where a girl went on stage and she turned out to be 17 after she had gotten on stage, and Drake was like, oh, how old are you? Oh, you're 17? Oh, you're gonna get me in trouble. He should have just said, yo, get off the stage. Thank you, have a nice day, get off the stage. But he kept her there a little too long. What do you guys think? Should these allegations be investigated further? Should these allegations be taken seriously? If you were these girls' dads, how would you feel about this? Regardless of who it is, famous person or not famous person, just having regular conversations with a grown man. Let us know what you guys think in the video in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe. And by the way, all the stuff that we're seeing, we got it from the E-News, we got it from people.com, and we got it from actual video recordings of people talking. So any issues, take it up with them.